Hi, friends, and welcome to our Daddy's a Donor. We're your hosts, Carlie and
Rylee!
Vicky. And we're so excited to have you listening.
So, we created this podcast to share stories of discovering we're sisters through a sperm donor. Through sharing our experiences, we'll also be giving our hot takes on the internet's best donor stories.
So let's get into why we both decided to take a DNA test. So you can go first.
So my mom, well, I actually found out that I was a sperm donor. I overheard my mom kind of talking about it, and then she ended up having to tell me that her and my dad had me through a sperm donor. But the reason that I did the DNA test to start off was I mostly just wanted to figure out my nationalities and to see if I had any siblings. I wasn't too concerned at the time with finding out who the donor was because I was an only child, so I kind of just wanted like the sibling to sibling like interaction.
Mhm.
That's pretty much the only reason why I did it. Yeah.
And then for me, Carlie, I had a couple people pass away. So my grandma and my dad passed away, and I didn't really know their background or like their health, culture, anything like that. So basically, it was just kind of to see where I came from. And my dad passed away of a heart attack. So it was just kind of to see if that was like hereditary and if there was any other health issues. So I got the test for Christmas and I did it. And I did not know that I was a sperm donor at the time, or sperm donor baby, not sperm donor. Women can't be sperm donors. I did not know I was a sperm donor baby at the time. So then Rylee reached out to me via Ancestry DNA. And like I said, I did not know, and you did know.
Mhm.
So, and I tell this to people all the time. I thought she was pranking me.
Which I
Somehow I
wasn't.
thought she was, I know, somehow I thought she was tricking me. And so we started talking for a little bit, and then I kind of ghosted Rylee.
Well, for
And then I
months
was
you
like,
just didn't respond
yeah,
to me.
yeah, I was
I
like,
was so excited to have like a
I know,
sibling interaction, and then the one time I get one, I just get ghosted.
I know. I was just like, yeah, this isn't for me. I don't care
Yeah.
about this. Like, this is weird. I don't want
Which
to talk to this girl.
you not knowing is how anybody would respond, but me already knowing, I was just excited and I had thought you
Yeah,
already
and
knew.
well, and you didn't really like allude to it either. You kind of were just like, we could be like something, maybe cousins or something. So like you definitely
Well, yeah,
handled it the right way. But
yeah,
I think I was just like, yeah, I just was like,
yeah.
I'm not dealing with this.
Well,
So then,
you were also on the website for years before I was.
yeah, yeah. So, and I kind of had just forgotten about it. I was like, okay, here's like my DNA test results and like my lineage. And then I talked to like a couple people that were like fifth cousins. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't really care anymore about this.
Yeah.
Like, I know where I'm from, but I didn't do any like health stuff. I thought it
Well, right,
would.
because yours probably nothing else would show up. But for mine, when I got the results, you popped up right away.
Yeah, literally, I had like, I think the closest was like a third cousin. And I was just like, it's
Mhm.
so hard to even find how we would be connected. And I just assumed it was on my grandpa's side because like there's a million of them. So even after that, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, whatever. So then I did reach back out through Instagram because I think you
Hmm.
had given me your Instagram.
I
And then
think
we
so.
discussed back and forth, um, like what the connection could be. And I still didn't know.
Hmm.
So we were like, maybe my dad was a sperm donor because like he needed money or something, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that was like a money thing back then, or I was like, maybe his brother did it, or maybe my older brothers did it, and
We
like
went through every possibility we could actually
for
think
like
of.
a
It's
year,
insane. Yeah.
for a
In
year,
fact,
and we
oh,
I
like every day too, we would talk about it and try to like ponder these thoughts of like how could we
yeah
be related? Yeah.
yeah, and I asked my mom a bunch, and she just kept being like, oh, I don't know, and I think I asked like every family member on my dad's side, like just
Yeah.
everyone. So yeah, there was no hit for a year probably.
Yeah.
And
I think
then
maybe like a year, a little over. I don't even know. That was a
yeah,
while ago.
Yeah, and then I moved to Calgary. So, oh, we also didn't say where we're from. I'm from Ontario.
I'm from Minnesota.
So that was another thing. We were just having a hard time with like where could have this like donor like where did they give it because like we're in two different countries. So that was confusing. So
Yeah.
then I moved to Calgary in November and we still didn't know what was going on. And then my mom visited me in like January of 2020 and she just like spilled the beans like so
Yeah.
casually. Super casual.
I
And then
mean,
she
we
was like,
were gonna like keep talking because you had told her about me.
yeah, so my mom did
Yeah.
know about you, and I think
Yeah.
she just felt so bad that she was like alluding to like the truth.
Oh
So
yeah.
then when we finally had some like one-on-one time, she was just like, "By the way, your dad is not your dad." I was like,
Did she say it like
"Sweet."
casually or was it like an
Oh, yeah.
awkward talk?
Oh, it was so awkward. It was so casual the way she said it. I don't even like really remember everything, but like I had just picked her up from the airport and gotten back to my apartment and we were just she like I think had asked how you were and like if we were still contacting each other a lot. And then she's like, okay, so like I need to tell you something about that. And I'm like, okay. And I'm still just like thinking, I'm like, what could it possibly be? And she basically was just like, yeah, so your dad's not your dad. And I'm like, all right. She's like, yeah, so your dad like had a vasectomy and then we had it reversed because I really wanted kids and then it didn't work, so we went and got a sperm donor and that's how you came. I was like, okay. And I'm very like reserved with my emotions, so I just was like super shut down and was just like,
Oh, that's exactly how
all
I was
right,
too. I was like
yeah.
silent. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, yeah, I was the exact
Yeah.
same way. So my mom just like took that as like I was fine, and she's just like, "Oh man, I thought you were gonna be so mad at me," and I was just like, no, like it's fine." And then she was like, "Okay, like let's go sightsee," and that's kind of like that's all that it was dealt with. So like it was super weird. And then I think I
Yeah.
messaged you like and was like, "Guess what?"
Mhm.
So it was finally like confirmed that we had to be
Yeah.
sisters. I mean, we kind of already assumed anyways.
Yeah.
Um,
We just didn't know like by who or like if it was somebody on your side that you knew, like one of your
yeah,
brothers, because that was also a thing I remember. You thought it was one of your brothers because
yeah,
um your dad had kids prior
yeah,
to you and so did my dad. So um both of our uh half siblings are both 20 years older than us.
yeah, yeah.
So that was like easily could have been one of your brothers.
Yeah, and then we also thought like maybe it was my dad because your parents had picked out like the characteristics and we
Right.
found that our
I
dads kind of look alike.
yeah, I remember you showing me a picture of like the picture of you and your dad. You were like tiny, and I was like, okay, I can kind of see it. Like they could be
Hmm.
cousins because when you get like the sperm donor stuff from my parents anyway, and I know yours did the same. They pretty much just pick out features if that's how they want to do it.
Yeah, I think
Like,
mine was a little different, and I haven't asked my mom completely about it, but as far as I know, all they asked for was someone that was Irish because my dad was very like patriotically
oh,
Irish, if that's the right term. Like he was
weird.
like, we have this last name and like
Oh,
we are
right, yeah.
Irish. And then like come to find out our donor isn't even Irish.
Oh,
Like,
not at all. No.
no, it was like point something percent. So it's just funny
Yeah.
that that's all they cared about and like they didn't even get it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, my mom and my dad obviously did it together, and they pretty much just matched the donor with like the hair color, the eye color, like all like feature things. I remember my mom told me it was so funny when I came out, all the nurses were telling my dad I looked like his little twin, and he was just there like holding me, just like smiling, and I was like, that is so funny.
that's so
Because like
funny. My,
now I like realize it's like
not,
can't be,
yeah.
but like
Well, that
maybe.
was like
I don't know.
my parents said like this is so weird, but apparently like I had my dad's feet. Like I know that's super weird, but we had like the same toes or something like that. So
Yeah.
that was super weird. Um, but
I
yeah.
mean when you pop out, no, the doctors aren't going to be like, oh, that one must be from a sperm donor. Like you have a
Yeah,
dad and a mom in
yeah,
most cases, and you're going to compare the child to one of the other.
yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
there's usually like a third party involved, which is
yeah, and it
very
just blows my mind
odd.
that our dads do look so similar. Like, it's so weird. Um,
No, they could be cousins for sure.
yeah. So that being said, we have found a couple other siblings. They will not be on this podcast at the moment, maybe in future.
Maybe if we
Um,
try to convince them.
yeah. So, um, we don't really know what their parents look like though, but we've seen some of them and we definitely think there are some similarities. But we can talk about that more in like another episode.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, after we found out that we were for sure probably siblings, that was in January 2020. So then COVID hit. I moved back home, and then we basically became best friends,
Yeah, like
which is so
actually.
funny. Um, and then in September 2021, Rylee came and visited me in Canada, and we stayed
That's
for 10 days, I think it was,
10 days. Yeah, in your house. I had my
in my
own
house.
bedroom.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So,
was insane. Like
I
I
mean, it
fly to
sounds like a
Canada,
lot.
go to this. Well, I mean, it was.
Yeah,
I
it's
fly to
crazy.
Canada. I've never been to Canada as it is, and I go there for the first time. Not only am I there for 10 days, I'm staying in this. Let's call her like a random girl. Like I've never seen her in person.
Yeah,
I've just talked to her online. She's like my online best buddy now.
yeah.
Like
It's like we were
I'm
pen
just like
pals.
living in her house. Yeah, no, exactly. We were for sure pen pals for a while.
I could have been a murderer.
You well, don't say that. Well,
Not yet.
before that, before you moved, it was before COVID hit. I had my flight booked to come see you in Calgary
Oh
too.
yeah, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. So Rylee was gonna come. That would have been crazy too, because you were gonna come. So regardless of COVID, I was moving from Calgary back to Ontario, and you were gonna come for like what, 2 weeks? So we were gonna
It
do
was like
like,
2 weeks.
yeah, and we were
Yeah,
gonna do, I think it was like 3 or 4 days in Calgary doing like sightseeing and like dumb tourist stuff, and then we were gonna drive back across
yeah,
Canada together, like as our first time meet. That would have been
yeah.
crazy. And then
Just
you were gonna spend
let's
another
get
week with
stuck in
me.
a car together. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. I mean, we would have been fine, like knowing each other now how we were, but like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it would have been a lot for us to take on.
I
I think
mean,
my mom was like,
but
"You're a little crazy for doing that," and I'm like, "It's fine."
well, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it being weird. I was just like so excited to see you in person. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
before I even booked that flight, because I had to cancel it, but before I even booked that one, we were talking for like a year, weren't we? At that point.
Yeah, I think it would have been probably, well, it would have been just over a year, I think. Or no,
Yeah.
it would have been about a year, I would say, because I think it was around April
Okay.
2019. So yeah, we would have been talking almost daily for a year.
Yeah. Oh, I remember my flight was on April 4th. I remember. I had to
How do you remember
cancel it.
that?
I don't know. Because I went on another flight the year after I went to Colorado. So
Ah, okay.
on the same day.
That's weird. So yeah, Rylee visited me for 10 days. It was wild. We did a lot of touristy stuff. And
Oh,
she's
it was
coming
so
to visit
fun.
me again next
In like
month.
6 weeks. Yeah. Is it is it
I don't
six
even
weeks?
know.
I think
It's
it's
so
6 weeks.
close.
I know. I remember when it was like 7.5, and I think now it's 6.
Yeah, so we'll get a couple podcast episodes in, and then we can do it together
Yeah, in person. That'll be really fun.
in person. We'll have to
Probably
figure
gonna
out
be
how to do that.
laughing the whole time.
I know, it's gonna be weird. My boyfriend's gonna be like,
Yeah,
"Can you cool it?"
yeah,
We'll have to find like make like a cute space for it. But yeah, that's our little intro. That's us. And basically, like I said, we're posting this a few weeks prior to Rylee visiting me. So we're so excited to share more with you guys. And thank you so much for listening. And we will be posting episodes weekly if we can keep our act
yeah. We're
together,
gonna try.
hopefully.
We're gonna
Um,
try.
we are remote, so just managing our time will hopefully we'll get it together. But yeah. Thanks so much for listening to Our Daddy's a Donor. Until next time,
Bye.
bye.